What are you doing? You're just hoping a special moment happens.
No, I'm still undefeated on King's Row, I know.
All ball. Yeah.
This year was kind of weird, right? I mean, I guess we started the same off as we did in season 1, where we started the first 2 matches of the stage or season just 0-2. We lost the first 2 matches this season as well to Toronto and Boston, and like we should have beat Toronto. It was so close we got reverse swept. Like we were gutted after, not gutted, but like it felt bad. It was the first match of the season. Like we're like, wow, this sucks.
You know, the GOATs had been played on contenders for a long time, but these are Overwatch League players. A lot of the Overwatch League players didn't play like GOATs meta hardcore, and so all these teams are learning this, you know, the brand new strategies, learning the game over again, essentially, when like this really dominant meta needs to be played. And so early on, it was kind of like, and it often is kind of like an equalizer period where there's a lot of volatility in, you know, who's going to win the match. It's harder to predict. Teams haven't stabilized yet.
Stage 1 could have actually been really good for us. I think we kind of threw our first 2 games. We lost in map 5 for both of them. And I think Boston and Toronto are both like weaker teams, or they were at the time, but we just weren't good either. So we kind of threw those games. Could have probably went like 5-2 in stage 1 because we had a really easy schedule. But we lost some easier games, and that really put us behind.
I think the first stage was, you know, shaky, but it wasn't completely hopeless. And then going from, you know, that to stage 2, which was an absolute catastrophe.
I mean, it definitely was the worst stage. I think we made our most mistakes stage 2 from like just playing, from personality conflicts. Maybe not that so much, but more so just general mood and sort of how things were going.
And we were still like trying other stuff, you know, to like see if we can like manage to kind of break the GOATs meta. And it cost us time and stuff. And like, because of all the things we do, and we like, I wouldn't say we waste time, but we fall behind because we don't like we don't know how to like progress.
I'm pretty happy we ended up turning it around for stage 3. We just found something that worked for us. We just did a really good job as a team, like figuring things out, figuring out our meta, what works for us, and sort of going with that.
Yeah, I mean, the Somber GOATs went really well in conjunction with like our 3 DPS comps. So, you know, we just started playing all 3 DPS players instead of, you know, playing Spree or Cool Mat.
I'm definitely proud of stage 3 because stage 2 was kind of the moment of like, I remember I had a moment where I was like, got fed up. I was like, look guys, like, we're just not gonna be like a good GOATs team in the time that we have. You know, like we can maybe do it someday, but the problem is the Overwatch League is like, you know, it's all about what can you do to deliver the best chance of winning on the day of the match.
And so we decided to go all in on something else. So we tried to go all in on like a Somber GOATs variant, which had some success in Overwatch League already, but it was still considered like kind of gimmicky, and it would lose to like a well-played, you know, classic GOATs comp where it's like 3-3 instead. And I think when we beat Shock, that was when people started to realize, and we ourselves started to realize that this comp, you know, is really good actually. It's not just, maybe we're crutching on it because we're bad at 3-3 classic GOATs, but it turns out that this comp actually beats classic GOATs at the same time. So, and we're good at it.
I mean, yeah, we definitely had our moments, and I did definitely remember a lot of situations where I was happy for the team and happy for the progress we made. But as a competitor and seeing the season as a whole, those small glimpses of, you know, success can't really compete with the frustration I felt during the last game we played on stage.
He's able to walk away, but he doesn't look pretty doing it, and that's another sleep. You need to deal with Young Xiaolong here, though. He needs to be removed. Overtime, very close to ticking down there as Jinmu is wiped off the face of the map. Young Xiaolong couldn't get back to the fight. He got Amon in midair while he was over the pit. Amon couldn't escape. That is brilliant. Dante getting the highest value kill you could ask for here. Getting rid of the wrecking ball just for the price of a hack. Absolutely stellar. Now with Evil Tal hacked, he's not getting away. Raucus runs him down. Amon's going to try and get to the point. Oh, he didn't quite hit the mark there, did he? Didn't make it. And the Outlaws, gunky EMP, in fact. Jake and Mooma just collapse. And all their circuitry is rendered useless. The Chengdu Hunters now poised to take this map away. Young Xiaolong, great post-EMP fight for Chengdu. And the series now heads into half-time, tied at 1 apiece. Oh, Dante! He tried to go for the EMP, but he got interrupted by the flashbang. And Young Xiaolong disco dancing on his remains. It's just Mooma and nothing else, and that'll be it. That streak of losses continues for Houston on Hollywood.
Struck up over the
Look at the hole, look at the hole.
The hole.
And the wall.
And the wall.
I mean, the Chengdu Hunters are caught up in this side. There's a wall.
They're
How
walled
they're
off.
going to touch the payload. Jinmu low, goes for a blizzard on the high ground. It is going to freeze Mooma. No, maybe not. There it is. Map 5 secured for the Houston Outlaws. And he'll hold it. Gonna go looking for the tracer. The flash is down. Oh, Young Xiaolong. He's taken
Elsa
down.
both supports.
Self-destruct good for Elsa. Young Xiaolong, though, no chance to EMP. And Lynx is waiting once more for Jinmu to show himself. EMP from Dante on the point, though. It is good, and it is a game now. Trying to stay alive. He can't hang around. Bionic Grass drains the life away from Lynxer in the hopes of the Outlaws might be following. Jinmu close-range barrage destroys Mooma, and it's over. The Chengdu Hunters give themselves a darn good shot now at the play-ins.
Our last match wasn't really that important for us specifically. We were already knocked out of playoffs. It was more so we just wanted to go out with a bang, right? You don't want to just throw the match or lose on purpose or not care. It's not why we got into this business in the first place. We want to be out there and we want to compete. So I think everyone kind of saw that we definitely came to win that match for sure. Unfortunate that we didn't take the W away from it.
Well, I mean, I guess this is actually just this week was like, oh, we're gonna play Anubis this week, so it makes sense to put me in for like the Junkrat specialty. Like, I don't think it's like, it's not because of the meme, it's because like I play the character a lot and I'm really comfortable in the role. Like, a lot of times things that are actually entrenched in team strategy, like me being particularly good at Junkrat, it's like, it is a meme, but if there's a map like Anubis where you can really force this character and play it like a high percentage of the time, then maybe it makes sense to play me. Just in the same way that, on Junkertown where Widow's really dominant, Lynxer is a really important person to have in on our team. We can't have me and Dante and be like, oh, no, none of us play Widow and just go into Junkertown and hope to succeed, right? Widow's so dominant on that map.
And yeah, towards the end, I was enjoying showing off my video. I think for me, there was the big tweet that Jake did that I was stepping in for him during the last stage. It took me some time to find my own personal bearings in the game, and I felt quite bad about that. But then towards the end of the stage, I kind of felt more at ease of what I was doing, and I definitely had my moments with the characters I played, and I enjoyed that.
The reason I didn't play was that I asked not to play in a scrim one day because I was feeling like I was not playing well or communicating well, so I just asked, can I get subbed out for this block? And I wasn't really thinking about anything more than that at the time, but at the time, actually, like, we weren't doing so well in scrims, and then we actually did better in scrims with Lynxer and Dante, so I felt like, oh, like, this is actually a good thing, like, that we're succeeding more, so I don't know, like, I don't want to inject myself back in. Like, I asked to leave for personal reasons, but then I realized, like, wow, we actually had good scrim results, and I felt like that, like, as a player on the team, like, if you see the team succeeding, you don't want to, like, change things, but like, okay, put me back in now that we're winning, like, that's kind of ridiculous. So from my perspective, it was just simple, like, scrim results.
It's hard, when you're not winning and every time you're trying your best and you're like always so close to winning. We would lose with a 2-3 score or a 2. Like, we would always have, it wouldn't be like a 0-4, 0-4. It would always be like, we would have maps won, but we would never finish the the series with a win?
I don't know. I think this season was it was weird because it was so like up and down. Like last season we had like, you know, some better and worse stages, but we didn't have any like winless stages like we did this season. So we never experienced like a low like that, like a loss streak. In stage 3, I think maybe like a better stage than we really ever had before, except maybe stage 1 last year. But I think with how the game has improved so much and every team has improved so much since stage 1, season 1, that it's like much more of an accomplishment, I think, for us than anything we had done season 1.
Not great. Season 2, I mean, overall, had its ups and downs, mostly downs.
Just we had so many problems outside the stage that it made things really difficult, especially if we had any problems on the stage too.
I think the one word to summarize it would be frustrating. It felt that a lot of things weren't really in our control, and a lot of things, you know, were just a tad bit out of the reach, and I think that was incredibly annoying, I think, for me personally, and I think everyone in the team felt and shared the same frustration, I think.
I mean, I enjoy the fact that I get to play every game because I feel like, I mean, the matches you experience on stage are obviously going to be the games you learn from the most. Like playing on stage that's like the most important part of like being a pro player. So being able to like play every match and being able to review every match is definitely like a benefit for myself, just to like better myself as a player. I don't really like it because I get really nervous that if I get sick or something, I'm just gonna have to play through it or let all my teammates down because there's no backup.
이번 시즌은 개인적으로는 출전을 그렇게 많이 하지 못해가지고 아쉬운 시즌이긴 하지만 그래도 팀적으로 피드백을 하고 그런 식으로 도움을 줘가지고 다른 경험을 하게 된 시즌인 것 같다.
It's been a different experience for sure. This is the first time in my pro career where I've been on the bench for the majority of the season. I think I prioritized basically being like an extra coach while I was on the bench, too much even, because as a player, even if you're like trying to help coach, you don't really have that same authority. When you try and make suggestions, like they're just suggestions, right? Like a coach has like, you know, a coach says something, you follow, but if a player says something, you're like, okay, you know, I'll keep that in mind, kind of thing. You know, going into the future, if I ever find myself on the bench again, I'll put more emphasis on making myself available as a player in case it's necessary, you know, by grinding, you know, playing ranked, participating in scrims when I need the information, you know, to keep up with the meta, strategies, all that kind of thing, but mostly focusing on improving myself.
Even through all the adversity, I think our team has the strongest bonds in terms of, you know, when it comes to having each other's backs. You know, I never felt like there was any kind of, you know, someone was trying to get me or anything. In terms of, I've heard horror stories and I've seen teams be angry at each other, and like interpersonal drama, but I think our team has been very mature in terms of how we take the losses and how we try to continue as a team.
Yeah, it's like the off-season begins for most of us, but for me, I'm gonna continue grinding Overwatch. You know, I wanna put on a great show this year for Team Canada. I think Team Canada is gonna take it a little more seriously this year. Even though we got bronze last year, we literally practiced like 4 days. We had like 4 scrim blocks and that's it. I'm hoping that we put a little more effort into it. I'm excited. I'm itching to play again full time. You know, I've been missing out on scrims quite a bit, so I'm excited to play, especially on stage 2. It's gonna be super, super exciting. And then, you know, play with all my old Team Canada teammates again. It's gonna be fun.
I'm on the final 12 for World Cup. Doesn't really mean anything because, like, yeah, the final 12's nice and all, but being the team that actually, or being part of the final 7 is like the more crucial part of it because it's, you know, that's like the team that actually plays. Like final 12, yeah, it's a title, but top 7 is actually playing and competing, so.
Hopefully I make top 7 because you need to be top 7 to play. And I'm not sure when we find out, but I'm excited to find out if I'm top 7 because I really want to compete in off-season because it's a long off-season. And I think competing would help me progress as a player, and I think it's just would help a lot.
I made top 12 again this year. I don't think a lot of people expected me to do it. I don't think a lot of people understand like how I operate as a player. I'm like very team focused, and I like to think that I'm individually very talented. Like I think a lot of people think and like understand that I'm talented, but from like a fan perspective, sometimes people just like only look at like kill feed and like mistakes, and they never look at anything positive. It's like usually the positive things that I do aren't acknowledged, and it's okay. It's not like the biggest deal. I definitely love playing with the USA boys. I played with Sinatra for the last 2 years in the World Cup, and it's like super good experience because it might be a little beep in ranked, but he's like one of the best teammates by far. He's like a super motivational player to play with, and he's a good leader. And then there's so many talented players on the USA roster as well. So it's gonna be, it'll be really fun if I get to make the final 7. I'm really hoping I have the chance to prove my worth again to USA. So
the decision not to do World Cup was weird for me because I enjoy BlizzCon a lot and I enjoy that whole experience. But I felt last year I felt kind of stressed out about everything that was happening, and I think I want to focus. I want to have this off season to kind of focus on my streams, focus on relationships, see the world a bit, and enjoy the time off. Because before joining Overwatch League, I was constantly trying to do something, and it was rough. So I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to kind of be myself and grow my personal stuff a bit more.
Nothing crazy for the off season. Gonna spend some time with family, do some family vacation stuff, and just reconnect. Nothing, just do my own thing. I'm getting back, going climbing as much as I can, and then enjoying my hobbies a little more now that we have more free time.
Play a ton more ranked. I guess focus on execution over anything else. Just be the best at what we're playing. Don't worry about anything else that's going on. I think we'll have a lot of success if we focus on those two things. Play kind of ranked and be good at executing.
During the off season, I'm gonna try to practice a lot because I think I can still get a lot better at a lot of heroes. I think I've proven my worth a lot more this year as like a flexible player. Got to play like a lot more Pharah and Doomfist and those kind of heroes. A lot of it was Sombra, but I also proved that I'm still one of the best Sombras. Next year, I definitely want to be at that level on a lot more heroes. I want to be known as the best Doomfist and best Pharah or whatever heroes I will play next season. I want to be known as the best on them.
I think I want to go to Japan. I don't know about other places, but I just really want to go to Japan because I think their culture is cool, their food is good. I like anime.
Classic WoW. It's for the off season. I'm waiting for that for 15 years, so dig into that. You could listen to some old music from the era too and get really into it. Role play as my 14-year-old self.
in the off season, last season, I pretty much only focused on World Cup stuff. I didn't get to do anything personally because I was so dedicated to World Cup. I know that sounds like cliche, but I legitimately didn't do anything. I practiced the entire time and I just wanted to win super bad. But this season, I'm gonna do the same thing. If I make the roster, I'm probably just gonna only practice for the World Cup. And then maybe directly after the World Cup, I think what I regretted that I didn't do last season was that I had a bit of time to go on a vacation and I didn't. So I think after the World Cup, if I make it, I will go on a little bit of a vacation just to relax and chill out. And I'm thinking either Bali or Fiji or something tropical because I don't know, I grew up on the East Coast in the cold, so I'm ready to get to tropical weather. So.
일단 좀 미국에서 지내면서 그랜드 파이널도 좀 보다가 한국으로 돌아갈 예정이다.
It's been a quiet year for me, obviously. I've been on the sidelines. I've still been, doing a lot in the background, trying to help the team move forward. I'm grateful to everyone who's supporting. I still see all those threads asking a free banny or whatever, and your wish will come true in the World Cup at least, so I'm excited to play there. And your support means a ton to me. I don't know, we can't do this without you, right? It means everything. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you, of course, to all the fans, especially when we come out to events, local in Texas and see all these amazing people who are, really building a community together that supports us. That's something really special. And I think it's not just about us as a team, but it's also about you as the fans who, go that extra mile and build that community together. You're creating something really valuable. So I just want to say thanks for that.
Seriously, thanks to all the fans that supported us throughout this season. I know it wasn't the best season. We're gonna look to improve it for next season. So don't be afraid. I don't exactly know how many changes there are, but there's gonna be a lot of changes in terms of our results for sure.
I have to thank you all the fans for supporting us through the season 2. I know it wasn't easy to see us struggle the way we struggled, and I bet all of you had tons of questions. It is a bit selfish for me to think that you would support us no matter what, but honestly it has felt like that throughout this stage, and all the heartfelt comments are definitely read, seen, and appreciated a lot. So thank you guys for that. I'll see you guys next year in Houston.
Thank you to all the fans. Thank you for supporting the team. Thank you for supporting Outlaws. Thank you so much for supporting me. I can't say how much I'm thankful for that, because it really helps me personally to keep doing what I'm doing, because I know how much people care, and seeing how many people care about what we're doing, what I'm doing, and seeing them support us at every game, it's really it brings a smile on my face, and it makes the whole experience like way more enjoyable. And I want to thank every single one of you guys, for supporting us overall. Thank you.
To all our fans, thank you all for supporting us this year. I know that our results were a little disappointing, but we're really gonna bunker down and try to fix our issues in the off season, and hopefully next year we're gonna have some better results for you.
I just want to thank all the fans who have supported us since the very start, because if you guys weren't here, we wouldn't be here today. And I know we've let you down. I feel like we've let you down in season 1 and season 2 by not making the playoffs. That's like a huge letdown. I'm a traditional sports fan, and I'm a Jets fan. So when the Jets don't make the playoffs, it sucks, and they always let me down. But I always support the players, and I hope that you guys can support us like that, because it's super important to us. And I'm gonna always work my hardest to make you guys happy, because all I want to do for you guys is bring home a championship. That's what I'm here for. I'm not really big into the popularity thing. I don't really care about all the benefits. I just want to win, and I want to make everyone happy. So thank you so much.
Final focus. This season has been really rough, but I'm really appreciative of all the fans that have stuck through it with us, because it has been really rough on us. So we do appreciate that. Helps keep our heads high. So again, infinitely appreciative of that. And here's to season 3. Hope it's a lot better for a lot of reasons.